Welcome to the 80s Babies Conversation. It's your girl, Ray Cherie, checking in, the hostess with the mostest. I'm so happy to be here today. And I have none other than my brother, GP Slim, checking in tonight. What's up, bro?
What's happening, sis? What's happening, man? What's happening, y'all? Hope y'all had a great weekend, great holiday weekend, man. Hope y'all was safe out there. Hope y'all ain't lose no loved ones or get hurt. You know what I'm saying? And I need y'all to go like and subscribe to this YouTube channel and our Facebook. Once again, y'all, I need y'all to do that. And once again, shout out to the boy Ken, Prince Ken, for the song. You know what I'm saying? Montgomery in the
Yeah,
house.
we appreciate that. Montgomery, where you at? Where you at?
All right.
Yes. Now let's go ahead and jump into it head first tonight. So we have been following the Brittany Griner situation with her being detained. And last week, Robin Roberts, who was one of my favorites, interviewed Brittany's wife, Sherelle. And I was astonished to watch the interview. Sherelle basically said that when Brittany got detained, she called her, but after that, she has not spoken to her since.
No communication.
She says she has sent her some letters through her legal team, but that's about it. But she has not spoken to her since she actually called to say, something to the extent of "Bae, they got me," and that was it.
That's crazy. Like I say, that to me, that's still crazy, and it's even crazier that she haven't been in touch with her loved ones, and like I say, I don't know the laws and rules of Russia and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I still feel like this is a little over the top. To be holding this woman for a little amount of paraphernalia or whatever it was. Again, I feel like it's still a little over the top to be holding her like this and not having a bun or whatnot. But it's like I say, in Russia, that's a whole other country. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, they got different ways of handling things. So, like I say, I hope the best for her, and I hope that she get out this situation in one piece and her family able to get her back to the States, man, because that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. And I see Brandon Perry said it's a messed up situation. It really is a messed up situation. And the crazy thing is, watching the interview, we saw that her wife, Sherelle, is well educated. She actually just got a law degree from North Carolina Central University.
Mm-hmm.
I think I may have to check that, but she just got a law degree. And she said, she never pictured herself to be sitting with a legal pad, trying to figure out this situation. So it's an unfortunate situation.
Unfortunate.
And I'm interested in seeing what they're gonna do with this. She said that she spoke to some of the families of the guy who was just released, and she also spoke with the family of another military person who is currently detained. And they also asked her how did she feel, with the government, with what they're doing, was she satisfied? And she said she doesn't know. So I feel like with everything that's going on, it's only so much she probably can say publicly, but our thoughts and prayers are still with them, because this is a very unfortunate situation. I do agree with that, Aretha.
Right, and I don't know if there's any petitions or anything going on with, because I done seen a lot of situations that, people start petitioning and, trying to get things handled. I feel like, United States need to do a little more to help this woman out of this situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like the people need to do a little more, because you really don't hear, unless people are still, a few people still talking about, you really ain't hearing about this. You know what I'm saying? Well, I haven't been hearing about it like that, but it's crazy, man. It's an unfortunate situation, for real.
All right. So, and then, okay, the next thing that I have been seeing in the news is about people have been getting hepatitis A from contaminated strawberries. And I think these strawberries had to be purchased between March 5th and April 25th of this year, 2022. And they had to be purchased at places like Walmart, Kroger, Safeway, Sprouts, Farmer Market, Trader Joe's, places like Aldi. And they're saying that if you froze these strawberries, they're telling you throw them out. but about 17 people have gotten sick, hospitalized. I think about 17 people have been no, is it 17 deaths and 12 hospitalizations?
I'm not sure, man. Let me check.
So while Bubba's checking on that, I think it's 17 deaths and 12 hospitalizations. But hepatitis A is inflammation of the liver. And we know that the liver is the organ that processes our nutrients, and it also filters our blood. Our liver also helps us fight against infections. So this is real, to the point where I got scared because I love strawberries, and I eat strawberries, and I am guilty of putting strawberries in my salads. Now, fortunately, I have not experienced any symptoms, I must say. But I thought about buying strawberries when I walked in the store, and I put them down because I'm like, let me find out what is really going on. So, what are the symptoms of hepatitis? It's saying that in order to get it, you have to come in close contact. So I'm thinking close contact with an infectious person, or you can get it after eating contaminated food or drinks. All right. So they said the symptoms can last you up to 2 months, and they include fatigue, nausea, stomach pain, and jaundice. And most people do not have long-lasting illnesses. And the best way to prevent this is to get vaccinated.
Right.
Did you find it?
I'm still looking.
We'll make sure we come back with those stats. And Aretha says she read something about the strawberry issue today. It is on the news. I've seen it a couple of times this weekend and this morning. I saw it on the news as well. So that is something that is going on.
And that's got to be scary, though. You think about you going to all these different places, getting your fruits and stuff, and you got to be worried about if it's contaminated with all these different, these different things. So that's scary, man. And I mean, that's kind of going back to, everybody like how like the older people, like our grandparents used to do. They used to grow their own food. It's kind of getting back to that time, though. People, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if strawberries are something that we can grow here, but I mean, I'm pretty sure it is. But I mean, that just goes back to like farming and stuff. We're gonna have to end up going back to those days, people, because we don't know what these people are putting on this food. We don't know what these people are spraying with it, spraying on our food and stuff in these fields and going through the factories to get, processed and stuff. We don't know what they're doing to this stuff, and we're eating this stuff thinking that it's healthy. And it really ain't, this stuff killing people faster than people killing people,
Okay. Correction. There were no deaths. There are 17 people sick. 12 of them are in the hospital. There are no deaths. 17 people are sick, and 12 of them are in the hospital. So that was the current number with that.
And don't forget, I mean, and even with that, we have these new diseases coming out too. I seen something on the news about monkeypox. Like it was an article about a person who was diagnosed with monkeypox or something from going on a trip in Canada, I think.
Yes, that just makes me wonder, like, what in the world is really going on? What in the world is really going on?
Right. Like, it just, we just getting over the COVID, or trying to live through the COVID still. And
pause. I'm glad you brought that back up. COVID ain't gone.
It ain't.
But a lot of people are not wearing their mask anymore. And I'm going to say that I am guilty. I only put my mask on when I feel like I'm in danger. But like, I'm wondering, do I need to put my mask back on? I am vaccinated and boosted. But it's like Aretha said, we are not over COVID. We aren't.
Well, we not, and I stand corrected. I used the wrong term, but we're not over it. But we're just right now. That's a good word you use, and comfortable. We've gotten back comfortable with it, and we're trying to live with it. But even what you saying that you wear your mask, only when you feel like it's a need to. When COVID first came out, they were saying it was airborne. So, you know what I'm saying? Even if you're in an area or a setting where you don't feel like it's a problem, it could be still a potential threat, you know what I'm saying, with it being airborne, you know what I'm saying? So it's like all these things that they told us in the beginning when COVID first hit, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like they disregard a lot of that stuff now, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, nobody is
I
wearing
don't think
masks.
they are disregarding it. They are still telling us we are disregarding it. Like we have gotten, like Aretha said, we've gotten comfortable. But I'm thinking about in a couple of weeks, I got to travel to a wedding. And a couple of weeks after that, I have to go on a trip. And I have to get on an airplane. And I'm like, my COVID anxiety is going to kick back in because they are not telling us that COVID is gone. And they have not told us to be relaxed.
But they are telling people that masks are not required anymore. So that's just like telling people that, you know what I'm saying, like everywhere you go, even in my barbershop, you know, when you big sign on the door, as soon as you walk in, no entry without a mask. Or if you get in, they'll give you a mask or you buy a mask or whatever the case may be. But you know, all these places are dropping, you know what I'm saying, restrictions and stuff and saying that, oh, it's cool to come in here without a mask now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like COVID ain't gone, but we're starting to behave like it's not, you know what I'm saying, it's not an issue anymore. And this, you got to think about it. This same illness took out a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And it's like now we're going about it like, oh, it ain't that big of a deal. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest, I haven't been vaccinated and I haven't been sick during this whole entire time. You know what I'm saying? But it's like the people who had the vaccine has been getting, they're the ones who gotten sick from it. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that you shouldn't get it. I'm not telling nobody not to get it.
I have not gotten sick, but at first I was extremely cautious and I just was like, I'm not getting COVID. I was bleaching everything, cleaning everything, wearing masks, double masks. That was me. But then once the booster came out, and I got the booster, I was like, I did get a little more relaxed because they told us the mask mandates were over and I was looking around, peer pressure, and I was the only one who had my mask on. So then I took it off. Now, Brandon said, if white folks ain't wearing theirs, why should I? Now, Brandon, be careful who you look at. I look at some of my friends that work in like the nail salons. I look at my nurse friends. I look at my doctor friends, and they are still masked up. So, and today I paid attention to that. I was in the nail salon today, and the only people who had their mask on were my Asian friends working in the salon. And I'm like, that was my signal. Like, I need to put my mask back on.
Well, I ain't gonna lie, like just riding up and down the roads and just, you know, just going places, like a lot of the young people are the ones that not wearing masks anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you pay attention on y'all way to work tomorrow or just ride about tomorrow, just pay attention to the person next to you. Like if it's an older person, you're gonna see the older people still with masks on, riding in the car by themselves. Like they ain't playing. Like the older people are not playing. Like, you know, they still using masks and we laugh at it, you know what I'm saying? Oh, they still wearing masks. See, people make a joke about it, you know what I'm saying? But it's better safe than sorry, you know what I'm saying? Like I mean, since the pandemic hit, like my job hadn't stopped none. Like I had to work around people getting inside people's cars and all that. Like I said, I haven't been vaccinated yet. So, you know, I mean, I know I was putting myself at risk, but I don't know, man. I think everybody's body is different when it comes to vaccines and different illnesses, but you know, to each his own. But I don't know, man. Like I just feel like we ain't taking it as serious as we were taking it when it first came out. You know what I'm saying? So it's like everybody's like, oh, it ain't really a big deal. You don't have to wear a mask in here. Come on in. You know, people still having parties. People still, you know,
a lot of barbecues happened this weekend.
Yeah.
A lot of traveling just happened for these college graduations and high school graduations. So, you know, it's real. So let's see what happens. I saw on the news where they said they were bracing if we were to have another wave. So let's see what happens with this. And I also wonder, are people going to quarantine as stringent as they did previously in our previous bout with it? Are people going to be like, oh, I have COVID, I need to quarantine? Or they're just going to be like, you know what, I'm going to get it anyway, so here I go. So I'm wondering
how
some people
out there. There's some people out there that's like that. They don't care if they get it or not. They feel like, you know, I heard some people say, even when it first came out, I had a couple of friends that say, oh, well, I'm not going to stop living life just because COVID is out there. It's just like the flu. People don't stop. Man, listen, to each and own, like I say, you know what I'm saying? But that's crazy to me. You know, if you don't care about yourself, you definitely don't care about the next person. You know what I'm saying? Just because everybody's immune system may not be as strong as yours. You know, so you might get it and might not have any symptoms from it. But then if you give it to me, I take it to my grandma who's already sick, or my mom, or someone that's age. You know, it's gonna take them out like that. So we got to be mindful of that stuff still, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I recommend y'all still wearing your mask in you know, high volume places, but you know, to each and own. You know, if you sick, just stay at home. Just stay away from people, man. It's even with a common cold, just stay away. I don't want nobody with a cold around me, so especially not COVID. You know what I'm saying? So just be careful out here, man. Wear the mask still. Keep the mask on.
Yeah, please wear your mask. If you know, it's time to put them back on. That's my personal belief. I can't tell anybody what to do, but it's time to put them back on. Now, another thing, because I'm a brown person, I'm black, but I'm brown. And the Uvalde school massacre, I'm just going to say massacre because that was beyond a shooting to me. But I feel like, you know, I went to work after the shooting, and I work at a predominantly black school, but a predominantly white staff. And nobody was talking about this school shooting personally. I felt like nobody was talking about it. I brought it up at lunch because I like to play devil's advocate sometimes. But I felt like nobody was talking about this school shooting. And I feel like it's because those people are brown too. So I don't feel like people, you know, we say race doesn't matter, but I don't feel like it's getting the attention that it deserves with this massacre. And, you know, now they have gone and they've done a timeline of this actual massacre of these kids, okay, and 2 teachers. And they're saying that this shooter, this killer, this murderer was in this school for an hour. And the police basically, they stood outside because they had to debate whether or not to enter. And I listened to both sides of that. You know, I heard the parent argument and I heard the police enforcement argument saying, like, we had to determine what he was using. We had to determine what kind of armor he had, those kind of things. We couldn't just enter, you know, without a plan. So they waited outside for 70 minutes. And then they called a tactical team. The tactical team went in 35 minutes after they got there. All right. They killed the shooter upon entering. But by this time, he had already fired 300 rounds.
And they said that he went and bought 400 rounds. He purchased 400 rounds of ammunition. So that's a lot of ammunition. And luckily, you know, thankfully, he didn't take out more kids and more people than that. You know, with 300 rounds, that's a lot of rounds. And I don't know how many kids was at that school, but it could have been the casualties could have been way higher. You know what I'm saying? So luckily they did go in and stop it.
That's high. And like what was saddening to me, the kids were calling 911 from the inside. You know,
go ahead.
The kids were calling 911 from the inside. Parents were trying to get past the police officer to help save the kids. But I went back and I watched those little kids tell their story of what was going on in those classrooms. And there was one in particular that made me cry because this little girl said, I had to cover myself in somebody's blood to make him think that I was dead. And
sound like something in a movie, man. It's unbelievable. And you think about the age of those kids and just having the mindset to even do that. So that goes to show you it had to be some panic and just some like I couldn't imagine, me as a grown man couldn't even imagine having to go through that type of situation. So we talking about kids that really haven't endured anything in life yet, to have to go through something like that, man. That's
the journalist said that that little girl is afraid of men now. She would not talk to male reporters. She will only talk to a female. But today is the last day of Mental Health Awareness Month. And I saw where Joe Biden is saying that he wants the school to be torn down and rebuilt because those kids shouldn't have to go. They shouldn't have to go. And I hope that the government is going to aid these people with their mental health for the rest of their lives, because that is like, that warrants PTSD. You know, that warrants some real trauma.
Not only the kids though. Think about these moms and dads and these loved ones that lost these young kids due to that. You know what I'm saying? Think about,
and the husband. The husband of the teacher had a heart attack a couple of days later. He couldn't take it.
Like so that's a lot to take in, man. Like, that's crazy. It really pisses me off when we think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, because I got kids and stuff, man. Like, as a parent, even if you're not a parent, you gotta be able to kind of think about this situation and be like, wow, I can't imagine what these people are going through, man. Like, it still seems unbelievable to me, to be honest with y'all. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, you know, like Raven said earlier, you know, a lot of people not even really talking about it. But if it had been a shooting at a white school, you'll be hearing about this for the next 2-3 weeks, to be honest with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And maybe it's being broadcasted a lot in Texas. I don't know, but you know, I feel like that should be worldwide right now. You know what I'm saying? It should be raising a lot of awareness on a lot of other places that could potentially have the same issue. You know what I'm saying?
And so here's my concern. So schools have these resource officers, and they have offices and stuff like that. So this particular one, they cleared it up. They said he wasn't at the school when it happened, but he drove right past the red vehicle when the guy crashed. But here's my thing. For the schools who have these resource officers, if he goes on lunch break, another one needs to be coming in his absence when he goes on break. All right. That school resource officer, he does not need to be in the office behind closed doors. He needs to be out at the foyer. He needs to have some duties where he surveys and checks the premises. A lot of schools are moving to Chromebooks. Let's talk about real safety.
Listen,
leave them books at the house. They know these big hoodies don't need to be worn in the buildings. And
but let me say this too, though. Let me say this too. Like, it's crazy that we have. I feel like the security at these schools need to be way better than what they are anyway. You know what I'm saying? You think about it. You go to some of these grocery stores. If you go to Walmart at a certain time of the night, you have a officer that's standing at the door, or you have one that's parked right in front of the door. What are they protecting? They protecting a lot of stuff that has insurance on it, money, merchandise, all of that. But they got them there to protect it so it won't get stolen. Nobody won't run out. But we talking about our kids, y'all. Why isn't it police or security that's standing in these school doors all day during school hours? You know what I'm saying? Like, where's the security? We funding all this security for all these other places. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why not for these kids? That's crazy to me.
And let me tell you something. I went to high school at the start, like when gang banging was getting really bad in rural areas. And I'm not gonna lie, security was airtight. You had to put your belongings just like you were going through TSA. You got patted down when you were going in. Like, we don't have that anymore. And I think we're at the point where it's like they don't even take threats and things seriously when it comes to these schools anymore. But like, with us going to this digital stuff, like a whole lot of things need to take place, because it's easy for kids to smuggle guns into school. And we saw how easy it was for this intruder to get in this school. Right. Okay. Now they say a teacher had propped the door open. Like, it happens. It does happen. But I mean, you just don't
ain't no excuse for nobody to go in and do that. You ain't think you at a school. You're at a school. You ain't thinking about nothing like that happening. I don't care how much awareness. I don't care how much awareness you got. You ain't think on any given day. You ain't thinking like that 24 hours, 7. You know what I'm saying? You ain't thinking like that all the time. So even if the door was proper, you can't blame that on the teacher. You know what I'm saying? I blame just the schools not having the right type of security. It's just a safety issue over like everywhere, not just there, not just here. It's everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
No, those teachers aren't to blame because those teachers gave their lives for those kids. So, and that's the crazy thing. These teachers have kids, but they were willing to give their lives for other kids. That's the most selfless thing you could do for a person. And then another issue that I have too, they had just done an intruder drill. Like 3 months ago, they had went to this intruder training 3 months prior to this shooting happening. So let's be for real. This barricading the door, cutting the lights off, that's crap. We need real safety plans in these schools. Okay, point blank and
real life situation.
That stuff doesn't work. Put up some storm-proof, bulletproof doors on these classrooms.
I think you know
windows. We just got extra money. Come on now.
Well, since you're a teacher, like I don't know, like what they do as far as like safety for storms and stuff. I remember when we were in school, you know, we had all these different safety drills that we used to have to run throughout the year, you know, for different situations. You know, I feel like they need to start doing these kind of drills if they have a intrude, you know what I'm saying, an invasion like that. You know what I'm saying?
I agree, Brandon. Door opening out, he was coming in, his mind was made up. So right. These intruder drills that they give us in these schools are crap.
We need to have drill for real life situations like this, man. Like
we have the drills, but the little plans that they give us. Let me tell you something. All I can do is say my prayers and pray over the kids. That's the reality of the situation working in the school. All I really can do is say my prayers and pray over the kids and hope the Lord loves us enough to hear us. That's the safety drill. That's the plan.
And right. And like you say, even with the a million safety drills and safety precautions, you know, nothing gonna prepare you for that situation if it was to unfold for real, because you never know how it's gonna unfold. You never know what the outcome.
Most schools may not be equipped for something like that anyway. Right. So that's the reality of the situation. So just to change it up, we got to add some drama up in here. All right, just to change it up, we got to add some drama. We got a toss-up question. Are you ready for it?
What is it?
The toss-up question for tonight is, what makes a woman call another woman about her man or her husband?
Just that alone. Just it being her husband or man is gonna make a call, you know what I'm saying?
We need y'all to weigh in on the chat because I want to know. Now, let me just tell you what happened to me over the weekend. So, you know, the fight was this weekend, right?
Right.
The fight was this weekend.
Right.
And I get a call from Montgomery, Alabama. And the first person I think about is you. I'm like, Lord, let me make sure my brother's okay.
Right.
Let me answer the call. All right. And I get the call and it was like, is this Raven? And I was like, yes, this is she. And they were like, your sister left me. I'm like, hold up. I don't have any sisters. What are you talking about? Your sister left me at the fight party. And they was like, oh, I thought this was Raven Day. Now, hold on. How many Ravens do we know? In our age bracket, it's not that common of a name.
Especially with that same phone number, though. How many Ravens gonna have the same number?
The same number. You call mine. All right. So at this point, I'm like, okay, she didn't get the wrong person. She got Raven. She got what she wanted. But since your man ain't with me because I pay these bills.
Okay.
What kind of girl do you think I are? I'm not the kind of girl you are. Why are you calling my phone?
Honestly, though,
4 in the morning.
Honestly, I feel like, you know, you should never call, you know what I'm saying, that the woman or the man should never call the man, you know what I'm saying? You need to get whatever you got going on straight at the house and see what's going on at the house before you call this person and accuse them or just question them on something that they may not even know about. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like, you know, if you got a hunch or a feeling that something going on, you need to get that straight with your significant other before you go call, because some people ain't gonna take that lightly. You know what I'm saying? You run up on the wrong person or you call the wrong person, you know, ain't too much you can do about calling, but some people like to approach people about things like this. And there's a lot of people in the graveyard right now for that same thing right there. You know what I'm saying? You can't run up on people and question people about something that they may not have known about. Like I said, you know, they may be in the blind just like you was in the blind on the situation. So, you gotta think.
Aretha said, thank you. Straighten that with your partner, because folks will tell folks anything. And I agree. And I'm the type of person, if you call me and you ask me for it, sis, I'm going to give it to you. But she didn't even ask. She just wanted to know my name. So I felt like that was a cell phone troller. She was just strolling through the phone. She saw a name and she called it. But, you know, she called the wrong one. And I felt bad. I'm like, you know, I don't even, talk to men right now. I'm single as a $2 bill. You know, why is she calling me? So that kind of thing. But I'm like, what pushes a woman to that level where she feels like she has to call another
insecurity? Like Aretha said, it's insecurities. You know what I'm saying? It's she wants to see. I feel like the biggest reason women call other women on a situation like this is they want to hear and see or try to find out as much information as they can about this other person to see, okay, well, why is he or she, well, why he's messing with her, you know what I'm saying? A woman, you know what I'm saying? Speaking from a man, you know, if there was a situation for two women, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like, you know, at the end of the day, you shouldn't do it. But they do it because they want to see, like I said, they want to see what the competition like, or they want to see, oh, like what she got that I ain't got, you know what I'm saying, or what she doing that I ain't doing. Let me, you know, for real, we laughing, but that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that's a big reason why they just trying to figure out, see what they up against.
It's a whole lot of raving. No, that's all I'm gonna say. Now, this weekend, I believe people go to who they're most comfortable with to talk to. Yeah, women do be wanting to see for themselves, but baby, don't even do that to yourself. And I'm as a woman, don't even do that to yourself. If you got the ass, it's not even worth it, because first of all, you already know what you got. You already know who you're dating. You already know how they move.
Right.
So either you're gonna accept it or you're gonna step on.
Hey, like I said on previous episodes, you know what I'm saying? It's all about what you're gonna deal with, what you're willing to deal with, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day. You know, so like she said, you know, you're gonna deal with it or you're gonna go on about your business.
Yes, and this is a little off topic. This guy, he has been trying to date me for a couple of years now. But one thing, and he's a good guy. He has himself together. But one thing that I noticed about him is at a certain time, he does not, those phone calls or that text message is not going to get replied to. So I told him, I sent him a text, and it simply said, I want a man who can text me good morning and good night. So he called me the next day about 9, because, you know, people are up and moving. Especially if you have a business or something of that nature, you usually up early. But he called me about 9. See, by 9, girlfriend, fiance, wife is at work. So with that being said, I said the reason you can't send those good morning texts or make that phone call or that good night text or that good night phone call, because I prefer the phone call over texting anyway, because I'm grown. But the reason you can't do it is because you laid up with somebody. And he just bust out laughing. What are you talking about? This is the same old Raven. You right, because you're not going to get one over on me, boo. Enjoy your family. But don't, you ain't got to call my line. Enjoy your family. Because that's exactly what that is. So, and that's why I'm single, because I'm not willing to bend on common sense. And that's how I feel about it.
I mean, that ain't necessarily every man, though. You know, he may be busy doing something. Some women require men to talk to them all throughout the day. all throughout the day. Like that get tiring. When do he have time to himself? You know what I'm saying? When he's texting you and got to hold a conversation with you 2 and 3 and 4 times a day, I ain't gonna lie, that get tiring sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have that man gotta have time. Even he may have a schedule. So how you know that his schedule? How you know his schedule ain't? You know what I'm saying? His schedule ain't set up like that already before you. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you one time before, sis, you gotta stop making these expectations of people, and when they don't live up to it, you know, they got to be a bad person or not doing this or not doing that. You know, some people have schedules that they're already accustomed to. So you coming in changing that is you know, it ain't gonna go good for the other person. You know what I'm saying? It may work good for you, but that ain't gonna work. You know, he might. You know, I don't know, man. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying?
I want what I want, and I'm not settling. I'm busy too.
But if you want what you want, if you want what you want is compromising somebody else's happiness, then that ain't working for them. The sun can't rise and sit on you. You see what I'm saying? You got to be willing to compromise. If that person can't talk at 9, 10 o'clock at night, then
what time do you get up to go to work? What time?
Probably like 7 o'clock in the morning.
All right. So after 9 is already business hours. All the offices, all the plants, they already up and running. You're a little too late. I need that good morning when you rise. An hour after. Once you get dressed, you're on your way. It's nothing to say Google or Siri. Call such and such.
But listen, you might listen.
Work. I just wanted to say good morning.
You can't do that, sis. You can't put that on a person, man. Like you cannot. I might want to listen to my Gucci Mane or my Future on the way to work and get me in the mood of working, because you never know what kind of environment this person is going to work in. You know, like you said, don't nobody want to talk that early sometimes. You know, a good text message, that seals the deal. Now, text message, I understand that. Good morning, how are you doing? But calling you on my way to work,
I'll take the text, but it's neither one. It's neither one.
Okay, but I feel like long as you get that message before lunchtime, then that's cool. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like the man might be running late. He might be, you know, I don't know. It could be 100 million things he could be doing, but just trying to put that on a person. Oh, you didn't call me this morning. You didn't call.
All right, Brandon, you make time for who you want. And I totally.
That's true too. That's true too.
100%.
That's true. But I know Brandon Prayer personally. That's my homeboy. That's my friend for a long time. He is not going to call nobody every morning and talk about good morning.
Watch. I do call and text. He's not going to respond after a certain time at night, or he's not going to respond early in the morning because.
Okay, so let me ask you this:
he has somebody else.
Well, let me ask you this then, sis. So, how long did it take you to realize that?
A week.
Why didn't you get up out of there after that week?
I did.
Oh, you did?
That's what I was saying.
Oh, well, there's nothing else to talk about then. Yeah, I feel you. If that ain't mean your criteria, you know what I'm saying? Then yeah.
I tried. Oh, and then okay. So on top of that, it was he can't text after a certain time, can't call after a certain time. So then, like twice he tried me. Now I'm not gonna lie, I put my phone on sleep mode at 10 o'clock. I don't get any notifications except from family because I like to rest. My sleep is important to me. So I told him that, and I was like, in order for me to let you through my sleep mode, you're gonna have to earn it. So, and then, you know, so the dating, I mentioned the dating to him, and he was like, you know, he's busy. Kareem said his kids got his phone. So I mentioned the dating to him. So I have a child. So in order to go on a date, I have to get a babysitter. But I'm getting a text message or a phone call at 9:57 at night saying, hey, you want to go to dinner? Well, shoot, the kitchen closed at 11. You calling me at 9:57. I need an hour to get myself together. And then when were you going to give me time to get a babysitter?
Waffle House. You could have took the baby with you.
No, I ain't taking my baby on no date now. That's not happening. She can't meet everybody. They ain't trying to be a dad.
Dinner ain't necessarily got to be a date. If you want to feed your kid, then let them.
That's the difference between how men and women think. I'm raising a little girl. she's not about to see mama going out on 1,000 dates to find Prince Charming. Like, that's not happening. So you don't get to meet my child at all.
Well, if he offered, I feel like it went on your time. So I don't feel like he should be penalized if you can't find a babysitter. That's on you. That's on you. He tried. That's on you. So you can't hold that on him. You know what I'm saying? He tried. Just because you ain't have a babysitter, that don't you can't. Hey, like old folks say, you can't let no monkey stop no show. You ain't had a babysitter.
Knowing that I have a kid, I don't think it was ever intended to take me on a date. This is just me. I'm so glad I had a good dad, a good father figure in my life who told me game, recognized game, who gave me the game. See, that wasn't even a phone call to go out on a date. That was just a phone call to get a no from me. So he could say, well, I tried it.
And with you knowing that, you got to play the game the right way. You should have said, I'll be ready at 10:30.
No, I just decided not to entertain it, but I'm just letting y'all know what's out here, ladies. Please recognize the game.
And men, please recognize the game that's getting thrown back too, because like you heard, you know, anything that we do, it got to be a game. So come on, fellas, don't let them put you in that trap to where, I'm gonna call it. Don't call it 9:30, fellas, because she gonna think, he know I can't go. So yeah. That's why he called. Why did he call me at 6:30?
A man who truly wants to take me out is going to give me time to prepare to go out with him. And that's on who, period, Pooh. That's on everything. He's going to give me time to prepare. All right.
But he asked you, he called you at what time?
9:57.
9:57. Okay.
And first of all, you're not taking me on a first date to Waffle House, period. So where were we going? The kitchen closed at 11. I got to get dressed.
Food.
Boy, bye.
Food.
I can't. And you already know, Kareem, it takes me 2 days to get ready.
That's all women, Kareem. That ain't just her. That's all women. And then you got to get them a day in advance. Hey, look, I'm taking you out tomorrow. And I need you to be ready by 8 o'clock. She gonna start getting ready then. That's how long it's gonna take.
Right. That's why I want to plan my outfit and all that good stuff. All right, we're gonna transition into our big topic for tonight. And tonight we're talking about the preservation of Black culture. The preservation of Black culture, and when we're doing this for the culture. But so, Bubba, this is what I want to know. What do you think the narrative of our culture begins? Like how we got here. Where do you think the whole story of Black people begins?
That's a hard question to answer, to be honest, coming from me, because I can go a whole lot of different ways with that, you know, but I don't know. To be honest with you, sis, like I'm gonna throw it back at you. What do you think? Because I want to know. Because I want to know what the right way to go in this conversation real quick. Because I don't want to shout out to my boy Holyfield too, Rashad. I don't want to go into my Holyfield mode on y'all with this today. So
I hope Holyfield gets in the chat tonight.
Yeah, I wish he would, because I need him right now. Holyfield, where you at?
Somebody get Holyfield on now. So I feel like the narrative of Black people begins from every angle of the globe. I wish people would stop reducing us to, well, we were slaves and they put us on the boat and, you know, we had to work in the fields. Like, I don't think
because that's what we were taught.
But that's not true. Like, it's so untrue. And another thing I want us to stop thinking is that all Black people came from Africa, because that's not true either. Like, you know, some of us, we're doing the DNA test for our genetic history and our family history to trace our family trees, the genealogy test, and people are finding out they're from Ireland, or, you know, they may be from France and all these other things, and it all doesn't relate to Africa. So, you know, and with that sense, I don't like African American. I go by Black, and, you know, Black is not even adequate because we're brown. You know, we're different shades of brown. Even that midnight dark skin is still not black. So, first of all, the culture. You know, can we teach our kids? Can we teach ourselves that it did not start with slavery? And maybe that'll change the direction, that it does not end with this mental and physical slavery that we're performing on earth right now.
Black is beautiful.
Black is beautiful. I love it.
True.
All right, Kareem.
I just feel like, but I think as parents, we're gonna have to preserve the culture with our youth and stuff, because think about it, man. With you being a teacher, sis, like, just think about it. And I
have gotten in trouble so many times for teaching these kids.
And because they don't want you to know. And think about it. Like, when we grew up, like I said, we had Black history in the schools. They took that out and put American history. You know, America ain't got no history, you know what I'm saying? But the dark history, if y'all really want to know the truth, you know what I'm saying? But like I say, you know, we got to start teaching this as parents. And I mean, but a lot of the parents don't even know the history either. So it's like a lot of kids and people weren't as fortunate as us to have older people in our family that taught us stuff and that was coming up doing a lot of this stuff, and to try to preserve it, you know, to preserve the culture and stuff. But you know, they don't know the culture. The culture is what they're seeing on TV and stuff now. You know what I'm saying? We gotta step up as parents and teach these kids the right thing. We gotta do the research as parents too and find out the truth and preserve the culture too, because you know, there's so many distractions out there. Like I say, what is the culture?
So, what do you feel like people associate the culture with today?
What do you mean?
What do you feel like when we think of Black culture? What comes to your mind? Like, what do people identify the Black culture with today? What do you think? And in the chat, put this in the chat if y'all have an answer for this.
The hair, music,
music, hip hop.
Yes.
Okay, boom, hip hop. I have an issue with that because we are not seeing a whole lot of positivity in hip hop from male or female rappers.
Right.
All right. So if we associate our culture with hip hop, Meg and the Stallion, I'd rather be a BITCH because that's what you gonna call me when I'm tripping anyway. All right. So if we associate that with our culture, I mean, what is that? Why are we associating these things with our culture? Can we look at who owns the record labels? Can we look at how many record label owners are probably investors into prison systems?
Right.
Can we look at how easy it is for a child to learn one of these songs because they're written to melodies as simple as lullabies?
Right.
Can we see some of the brainwashing that's going on in our people? Can we understand? Can we teach our kids that people don't live the things they rap about or the things they sing about, but they're getting paid? If you're gonna be this millionaire rapper, you're gonna sing this, you're gonna rap this right here.
Yeah, it's controlled. It's controlled, man. Ain't no rapper getting up there rapping about what they want to talk about, really, for real. Now, it's a very few of them, and they definitely ain't backed by a major record company. You know what I'm saying? So, you Holyfield, I need you to enlighten them on it, man, about the culture.
So my whole thing is this: like, can we? Some of this stuff it's getting implanted in our minds. So then we think it's cool to be called that word. We think it's cool to get out there and shake our butts like these girls in the videos. We think it's
listen though. Now, don't, I mean, I keep seeing twerking going up. You know what I'm saying? Now, let me enlighten y'all. You know, twerking really, like, of course, a lot of people to put their own twists and stuff on doing the dance, you know, like every other dance. But a lot of these dances come from African tribes and stuff that these people used to do back in the day. So I don't really like saying that twerking is all that stuff. You know, we look at twerking as bad, but this dance came from, you know what I'm saying, like tribes in Africa. They were doing this dance. So, you know, we just put our twist on it and made it look, you know, a little ratchet. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I don't know. I mean, I guess that's part of the culture, though. I guess that's what we asking.
Holyfield, we're bringing it up. If you got some input, put it in the chat for us, Holyfield. But we're just opening the minds of the people tonight because these are some things that we do want to explore in the 80s Babies conversation. So we are having the conversation because we have to create a start on, you know, where we're gonna start at exploring what do we associate with our culture.
And Aretha, you said something, you know, people gotta be able to distinguish, you know what I'm saying, entertainment from the real, you know what I'm saying? But that's hard to do when that's even outside of the songs and stuff, you know what I'm saying? A lot of this stuff with these people rapping about, people seeing it in real life. You know what I'm saying? The rapper may not be doing it, but these things are going on in real life. Somebody is seeing this stuff. You see what I'm saying, in real life. So, you know, it's kind of like Holyfield said, like put the comment back up that Holyfield said.
What?
The destruction of African civilization.
So my next question is this right here. Do you think the Black experience is different amongst different socioeconomic classes?
Yes. Definitely.
So, now I'm gonna say this right here, Bubba. We did not grow up poor.
No, we did.
But poverty was around us. We saw some people growing up poor. We saw some people living in poverty.
Right.
So is the Black experience different between socioeconomic classes? Like, you know, I see kids who may have an income, a household income of $24K, but they wear Jordans every day to school.
I think that comes down to priorities.
You think that comes down to priorities?
Yeah, that's somebody that got their priorities kind of messed up, you know. But then with today's world, though, you know, priorities get messed up just off of the way people think, you know what I'm saying, you should dress or you should look, you know what I'm saying? Your priorities may be intact at first, but let's just, like kids go through it every day. Let's talk about that. Kids go through it every day. You know, you probably got a family that buy their kids nice shoes or whatever, but now it's that Jordan era. Everybody got to have a new J. So think about it. Like if you got to buy your kids these expensive shoes, you know what I'm saying? Knowing that y'all can't afford it, but so they won't get picked on at school and so they won't have bullying issues. You got to buy these shoes so they can fit in. They got to fit in. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of feel like a lot of that has got people priorities messed up just off of having to fit in, you know what I'm saying? Mind your business to be yours. Like that ain't what it is. Everybody want to be cool these days. Everybody gotta fit in. Everybody gotta fit in, be cool. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? So it used to be the way you could just mind your own business, but now, you know, if you ain't looking to party, ain't got on the right shoes, you know, people making jokes and talking about you. And that makes it hard for that kid or that person to survive out here, man. Unless you strong-minded, like a lot of people aren't, you know, then it's gonna be hard to deal with that type of situation.
Yes. And like going to college, being from a small town, because I'm from a small town, and then going to college and talking, and I'm like, man, you know, meeting people, and when you get to go home with your friends, and you think, you know, I was thinking in my mind, maybe I didn't have the best of the best. But then, like, talking to my friends and going home with some of my friends, I'm like, dang.
Like Daddy used to always say, you know what I'm saying? You think you doing bad, but you never know what the next man going through. You know what I'm saying? You may think your world done fell apart, but you never know what that other person is going through. You know, you think you had it bad. We had chores. We had to feed the dog, do all these different chores that
and working hardest. And
you know, I knew a lot of kids weren't doing that stuff that we were doing. You know what I'm saying? But you know, we thought we had it bad. And we thought just because, they don't have to do that. We thought that they were living a better life. Come to find out, the ones who weren't doing that really was the ones that had a way worse life, life than we had growing up, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we were taught those values and stuff for a reason, and a lot of people wouldn't talk that, and it goes back to the farming and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Right now, you know, if you throw me out there right now, I guarantee you I'll survive versus some of my friends that never had to work or never had a dog to feed, never had to work a garden. You know what I'm saying? Like they not gonna survive. You see what I'm saying? So,
and we're not speaking on a whole. We're having a conversation tonight based off of our experiences and our conversation.
Right. Like, parents would rather be, you know, their kids' friends than be a parent. You know what I'm saying? And I see that way too often. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, us growing up, my mom and daddy was never my friend. And I used to think that they ain't really love me the way they treated us at times, you know, with the discipline and stuff. But, you know, they weren't our friends. You know what I'm saying? They didn't treat us as such. You know, to be honest, we didn't become friends with our parents until we got grown, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? So growing up, strictly parent, I'm the child. Well, none of that, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. It's crazy.
And one more thing before we close out the conversation. Black on black crime. Do you agree with the statement that there is more black on black crime when it comes to homicides than any other race against that race? Do you think?
Yes. That's been a fact for years.
I just see like, you know, it was black men killing black men, but now girls are meeting up just to fight too. Like, I'm to the point where I'm like, what is really going on?
Because it's the once again, it's the music that we hear. You know what I'm saying? It's the stuff we seeing on TV, the movies. It's a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's just, and we've been conditioned and trained to hate each other and kill each other. You know, they just put the gun in our hand and like let us do the damage. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to lynch and hang and shoot and kill no more. You know what I'm saying? They letting us do it by our own hands. And it's been like that for the longest, but I'm just trying to figure out like when is it gonna kick in and when are we gonna see this? When are we gonna stop? You know what I'm saying? They started building jails, they started building prisons, and we filling them up just as fast as they can get them up. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, we gotta wake up as a people, man. You know what I'm saying?
We gotta stop playing into the hands.
We gotta wake up.
And in that prison system, I mean, that's a form of slavery in itself. So, you know, slavery is not over; it still exists. Like, do not set yourself up, for modern day slavery. Like, wow, we're doing it. Like, in that sense, we are doing it to ourselves. We need to get back to seeing the value of a life.
And there's none. Like, these people are killed. I see it all the time. People kill people and go to prison and lay down and do those years like it's nothing. It took me a whole lifetime to get to the age that I am. It's people that serve in life, the sentences long as I've been alive. And it's like, I can't wrap my mind around it. You know what I'm saying? Going to sit down for those years and I could have made a better decision or did something different. Like, then even if you get out, what's your future after prison of killing someone? You can't do that. You can't go on nobody's job. You can get a job, but you ain't gonna be making no money. You know, tell me how many killers that you know that have been successful after getting out on a conviction. That have been very successful if they ain't already have stuff going on. Because we know a lot of rappers. I know a lot of people say rappers, this and that. Them folks had lives and money before they did whatever crime they did. But think about a regular average person that killed a couple of people or a person and get out of prison and go on to be successful and just this big rich person. It's very few to none. You see what I'm saying? But we still play into that same hand out here, you know, doing all this violence, and they ain't making it no better, especially in the state of Alabama where the age to own a gun is 18. Like, you don't even know how to bathe yourself good at 18, let alone use a pistol and be responsible with it. Come on. That don't make sense. They giving you the tools to self-destruct. Real talk.
So I think we pulled out some interesting things, and I loved our friends giving us some good commentary. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. Like,
money. Let me tell y'all, we all know, money makes stuff happen. You know what I'm saying? So that ain't a secret. Rich people get off with a lot of stuff that poor people or middle class people can't, and they got the resources due to the money. You know what I'm saying?
T.I.'s son King had an incident this weekend in a Waffle House, and I listened to some of T.I.'s commentary about the situation, and he was like, I can't understand why my son, in a nutshell, and I'm paraphrasing, he said, I can't understand why my son was having this conversation with a line cook. Why are you, from your walk of life, having this argument with somebody else? Do you not understand the difference? And that goes back to that experience from different socioeconomic classes.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all go look it up and listen to it. I felt everything that T.I. was saying, except I feel like respect. Everybody deserves respect. I don't care who.
Right. No matter if you got money or no money. Like, respect goes way further than money at the end of the day.
But at the end of the day, though, you got to know your pedigree too. And that's why I feel like the Black experience is different depending on your financial status. There are certain things that certain people can't speak to because they never experienced or they've never seen it. Somebody growing up in the rural South like us, and somebody growing up north with millionaire parents, the two can't relate.
Different.
You cannot relate. It's not parallel at all. The experience is different. We do share commonality. We both Black.
Right.
We may have experienced some discrimination to a degree, but that struggle, that journey through life is different. And so we're not all in the same boat because of that.
Right.
And Holyfield, I agree to that. To some people, and I hate to say it, to some people, they just categorize us all one way and they put us in that N-word category, and that's it. And sometimes they don't say it in public, but I feel like it's definitely thought of and it's definitely said.
Right. And add to what Holyfield's saying, like, in their eyes, we all the same. It don't matter if you got $100 million as a Black man. Guess what? You still an N-word. You still, at the end of the day, you still gonna be that N-word. You still ain't worth nothing to them. You just one of the lucky ones that acquired some money in some kind of way. And even then, they looking for a way to get it from you. Even at that point, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, even the rich Black people, you still have to be careful because they still trying to find a way to take that from you. They don't want to see it, even though they can't do nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? But they don't want to see it.
And what was that quote you put up today on the page? But that's my whole thing. Like, how do we fix it? How can we improve the mindset of our people? By teaching our kids who they are and whose they are. All right, letting them know the talent and the innovation and the creativity, it didn't just start today or yesterday, and it didn't just start with hip hop. Since the beginning of time, brown people, our ancestors have been some of the most innovative, creative, and imaginative people on the planet. Right. Like, we have to instill it in our kids' minds, and we have to start showing them examples of these things and opening their eyes to these things, and then teaching our kids how to be self-sufficient. We had this mindset, and I know when I was growing up, teaching our kids to go and work for somebody. We got to start teaching our kids to work with ease. All right. Yes.
And then that goes back to the quote that I posted earlier too. The quote the quote of the day was, the most common way people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any. And that's a real quote, you know what I'm saying? That's real. The most common way people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any. That's real.
Yeah. So at this, what do you want to leave the people with tonight?
Man, I just want to leave y'all with just something on the culture, man. Just teach our kids the right stuff, man. Don't buy into this stuff that they teaching in these schools today. If y'all got to do your own research and stuff, get out there and do that and find out, the truth of stuff, because school ain't gonna teach it these days. You know what I'm saying? So that's out of there. We gotta put it upon ourselves to preserve this culture and our culture as parents and as Black people or whatever race you are. If y'all, preserve your own culture, because these schools ain't letting you do that anymore, especially if it ain't up to their standards, and we all know what their standards are. So I just want to tell y'all to just teach these kids the right thing. And once again, my condolences to those families out in Texas too. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's still a sad situation out there. So, be aware. Keep y'all awareness out there. Be aware of y'all surroundings, y'all everything, man. Just be safe out there.
Yeah. So, and then my thing, I would just want to say that, we have Arita said preserve your heritage. Yes, right. We have to preserve our heritage, but we have to learn the truth about our heritage too. Like, we need to take it upon ourselves. It's our responsibility to learn the true and real history of our heritage. Right. And if you really want to learn something, the best thing that you could ever do is go on a quest for your own knowledge. Stop worrying about what somebody told you and actually seek knowledge for yourself, because knowledge is power. All right.
And another thing too, and this is quick, it's gonna be brief. Look, that ancestry, where you go and find out your ancestors, y'all don't feed too much into that. I ain't down to, I haven't done it, you know what I'm saying? I probably need to go do it and see, you know what I'm saying, what it's gonna say about me. But you know, they get in your head and they'll make you think something, saying that you 50% something over here and throw you off your whole bloodline, you know what I'm saying? So y'all be careful with these sites out here that's saying it's digging back to your roots, because come on now, what they know that we don't already know.
Okay, and since we grew up on the outskirts of Tuskegee, shout out to Tuskegee. Okay. Booker T. Washington said, in all things social, we can be as separate as the fingers, yet as one hand in all things essential to mutual progress. And like, we got to work together, but we have to work for ourselves too. And we have to teach our kids. Once again, I'm stressing, teach your kids to learn a skill with their hands. All right, because you ain't got to file it on your taxes. That's your skill. Right. Nobody can take your skill and your talent away from you. That's yours. All right, and we're gonna keep the people of Uvalde in our prayers. We're gonna keep the nation.
Yes.
We're going to keep the nation in our prayers, because, the news, it gets disturbing at times with what's going on in the world. But
we'll never know the real story behind that either, guys. So, they only show us what they want us to see and hear. So, it's deeper than what we think it is. So y'all keep your own eyes and ears peeled and listen out for what's going on in the world, because, you will be misled real quick. So,
yeah. So please like this YouTube video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We need y'all to spread the word. We need that. We need your support. Be on the lookout for another episode of the Gentlemen's Club this week.
Coming soon.
Look out for a Mommy's Matter segment and check those out. They're really good. And we also got Girls Talk coming behind the Gentlemen's Club this week. So it'll be interesting to see what the fellas are talking about and what the ladies are talking about this week. We love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Please share this. Share this on your social media. Share this in a text message. Y'all stay blessed. We love y'all and have a good night.
Good night, y'all. Be easy.
Be easy. We out.